afraid that he might not like what he was seeing.
"Oh, my dear God,"
Michael gasped, eyeing his beautiful bride. He stood, and instantly his manhood began to rise to the occasion. He dutifully and diligently waited for this moment with his new wife. Since he had turned his life over to God a year before he met her, the struggle to remain celibate had been real for him, especially after meeting Karli. It was love at first sight, and he had known deep down that one day she'd be his wife. He was so happy that she'd agreed to marry him after only 6 months of dating. While he had desperately wanted to make her his wife as soon as possible, he'd be lying if he said the only reason had been love. No, some of it had definitely been lust. Before their marriage, his wife's caramel complexion, smooth skin, hazel eyes, thin waist, and extremely rotund derriere had had him ready to plead to God for forgiveness and go ahead and jump into that pool of sinful delight. However, once he'd found out she was a virgin, Michael had known this was God's test for him, and his way of letting him know he'd saved the best just for him. He hadn't even touched her, and he'd known without a doubt that she'd be the best lover he'd ever had. Michael slowly glided over to his wife and stood in front of her, admiring her sexy ensemble. She stared at him with a lost and somewhat confused look on her face, hoping she didn't turn off her new husband. "Is something wrong, baby?" Karli asked. Michael flashed his gorgeous smile at her and caressed her face between the palms of his hands.
"Absolutely not. Everything is perfect. You are perfect. You are gorgeous, beautiful, magnificent, and glorious. The most beautiful sight I've ever seen in my life."
He took her hand and slowly twirled her around.
"I love you, every little bit of you, and I can't wait to make love to you, my wife."
She lovingly wrapped her arms around his neck as he wrapped his arms around her waist and pulled her against him. The attraction and intensity ignited between them. "I love you, Michael," Karli whispered, with bated breaths between passionate kisses. Soft and sensual music by Miguel played in the background as Michael led her to the bed and sat her down. After he took a seat next to her, slowly he unhooked the clasps holding up her thigh-highs and eased them off her legs. Then he unbuttoned her bustier, revealing all her glory. What a sight she was to behold! Her shyness caused her to cover herself. Michael recognized this was new to her, and rather than rush her, he kissed her hands and allowed her to remove them herself. He wanted her to be completely comfortable in their first moment, her first time. With one arm around her back, he gave her the softest, sweetest kiss and lay her down on the bed. With their eyes locked, he stood and removed his pajama pants and boxer briefs, revealing a hard-on unlike any Karli had ever seen, which was really none. She'd actually seen a man's package only once, and that was in the one porn movie she'd forced herself to watch with Katrina in college, cringing the entire time. The apprehension must have shown on her face as Michael slid in bed beside her, because he held her and caressed her in his arms.
"Don't worry, baby," he whispered. "We'll go as slow as needed. We'll take our time."
"Do it right," she sang, repeating the words to a song, and giggled nervously. Michael laughed.
"Yep, just like that. I'd wait an eternity to be with you."
He turned her face to his and gently kissed her pouty lips. "Aw, baby," she cooed, interlocking his hand with hers. "I thought I'd be ready,